Okay, welcome back to Good Morning Austin, our daily show here from the running event TRE. I'm Dylan Bowman, joined now by Craig Hanratty from Raccoon Media. Craig, good day to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's great to be here, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, so maybe explain a little bit about what Raccoon is. I'm more familiar than probably a lot of our North American-centric trail running audience. What can you tell us about who you guys are and what you do?
Yeah, Raccoon Media Group organises a number of leading events in the outdoor space. So we're very much in cycling, in snow, running, equine. In the UK, we pretty much sort of lead in those categories. So it's very much a consumer day out, for outdoor enthusiasts. And obviously we've launched over into the US now, very strong foothold in Boston. We're bringing our footprint of what we do in the UK here to the US.
Yeah, amazing. Maybe quickly tell us what your role is, because it is US centric, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the event director on the Boston Run Show. So I've essentially been on that for the last 2.5 years, from its starting out as a launch. COVID stopped the first show. We got the first one out of the door this January, which has been a real success, and now we're working on year 2 of it. So it's very exciting to see where it's going.
This is coming up now in what, 8 or 9 weeks? It seems like it's
2 months. 2 months. We're saying it's the peak time. All the marketing activity is really strong now. It's taking place at the end of January, the 27th to the 28th at the Hines.
So of course we're here at the running event. You operate an exhibition that is somewhat similar, but maybe explain to the viewing audience what the similarities are between TRE and the Run Show Boston.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think TRE is a B2B show, and our show is B2C. So essentially, the runners turn up to our show to buy the latest gear, to see the latest technology, to hear the best speakers. So it's a similar take on TRE, but it's very much for the runners, the running community.
So if you were to explain what TRE is to the viewing audience, and just maybe expand more on what B2B means here in the running industry.
I think B2B is it's the industry where everyone comes together. So you've got all the major brands here, you've got startups here, sort of the innovation of what's going on in the market. And there's conferences and seminars for everybody to learn what the trends are and what's happening. So it's an educational day out for the industry. And ours is more a shopping day out and a fun day out. I like to say outside of running, it's the best day out for runners.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without running.
Awesome. So obviously, Raccoon is based in the UK. That's where you guys have this really strong portfolio of events. You are moving now into the North American market, strong foothold with the Boston Run Show. Maybe talk a little bit about the challenges of moving across the Atlantic into the North American market, any successes or failures that you've had along the way.
Yeah. Well, we're doing, things have gone really well so far. We've just had our Snowbound show, which is essentially the same as, Run Boston, but for the ski and snow industry. We had 25,000 consumers turn up for that show, so it's huge. So we're in the snow market really strong now in Boston. Run, we're on year 2 now, which is establishing itself really well. And we're launching the Boston Outdoor Expo, which will take place in April next year. Challenges, I think, working in the UK, obviously the hours are different. So I think from a team's perspective, we've had to, change how we work. So my day starts later and it finishes much later. And so, I think that's a big part of it. But once you learn to do that, and it's really fantastic because there's so many different time zones in the US itself that people are used to dealing with you at different times and picking up on things. So I don't think it's ever held us back in what we're doing, but it's how we've adapted to working in the US.
So the Run Show, the Outdoor Show, and the Snow Show are all in Boston. Why Boston? And are there plans to expand beyond the New England geography here in North America?
Yeah, I think, originally it was starting with, run Boston. And I think if we were going to start a show anywhere in
Boston
the US,
Marathon.
it just, it made a lot of sense. We're working with the best partners there. We're working with the BAA. We're working with Marathon Sports. We've got all the right connections there, and then a lot of the brands are located there. So that all made, a lot of sense. And there's a huge outdoor community there. So, we like to market to the city to bring people in from the city, but also it's the suburbs we're attracting as well, sort of a 3-hour drive time from the venue. So there's a huge catchment of people that love the outdoors across all these sectors.
So our audience is, as I was explaining, almost 100% trail runners, like the core of the community. And one of the things that I'm personally most excited to see here at TRE this week is the positioning of trail within the broader running industry. I'd love to hear you talk about that. Any market trends that you've seen through Raccoon over time, whether at the Birmingham show or the Boston show, to just maybe give an example of the growth of trail within these running expositions?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really take it as, quite seriously, as obviously amazing and key content of the show. So we actually have a stage within the show that's specifically for trail running. So, we have great speakers we've signed like Scott Jurek and John Kelly. So we're bringing in the right names to obviously, influence and attract more people to trails. We're expanding every year. So I think it's a stepping stone for us in these areas. And this year we've expanded more with more speakers. We've got more companies in terms of brands on the show floor that will be showing in this area. So it's evolving within what we're doing. So it's something that we just constantly, want to develop and build on. And partners and everything else.
Yeah, and I mean, all the brands now are taking this category really seriously, and so it's, I think just an exciting moment I'm excited to see all the new product and see all these big brands that are now like really focused on the trail market, which is, obviously where we are very passionate. Maybe say a few words about the outdoor show too, because obviously trail running kind of fits in both of those different events, both the run specific show in Boston and the more general outdoor focus show. Anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, well, we launched the outdoor show in the UK 2 years ago, and quickly it's looking like it's going to become our sort of flagship event within 2 years. Our last event, we had 47,000 people register for it. So it's absolutely becoming a huge success.
Wow.
And I think part of the reasons for that is it's cross-sector. So, we've got cycling in there, we've got trail running, hiking, camping, water sports. So we're going across all these areas, which I think opens up the audience considerably. So again, that's an expo we're bringing to Boston, which is really exciting because we can leverage the partners we have, the brands we have across Snowbound, across Run, to bring that into outdoor and build on it, because there's sectors we're not as strong in, like cycling and water sports, so we can build up partners there. But trail, again, is going to feature as part of outdoor as a very key vertical within that. So it's quite exciting to see where that will go, because I think it's also going to influence other people that are in other sports areas to get involved in trail, which I think would be great.
Talk about the culture at Raccoon a little bit. I know the CEO, Mike, loosely. I know the new owner, Doug, a little bit better, but both are very much like they live the values of Raccoon, at least from my perspective. And obviously, they are both very well experienced in the industry, but, just in terms of like the core guiding philosophy, I mean, obviously all these shows have something that's sort of active and outdoor and sort of health oriented, that the shows are sort of built around. Anything you want to say about those values and the culture within Raccoon and how you use that to sort of ensure that the company is successful?
I think it's hugely important. I think everything that we do, every show we launch has, health, getting people healthy outside, making sure people get outside, exclusivity, it's for everybody. So I think there's just that runs throughout each of the show. And whenever we are launching something, it's really the foundation of what we do. So sustainability, like we were the first organizer in the UK to remove all carpets so it wasn't sitting at landfill, which took out, considerable waste. So we've always been looking how we can offset carbon footprint and do things like this. So everything has a meaning. And yeah, that's kind of, how our values set.
So I know this is now sort of like a pivotal transition sort of moment for Raccoon now, with Doug sort of buying the company. Mike remains the CEO and operator of the business, but it feels like Doug sort of being the icon that he is in the events business, and it's a new opportunity to set the company on a new path forward. So I'm sure people would love to hear sort of what the future holds for Raccoon, and what the energy is like now in this new beginning.
It's exciting. Yeah. I think, when you have someone like Doug come into the company, he's always been in the background. Him and Mike are very, very close. They share the same interests at work and outside of work. So it's amazing to see. And I think Doug's got incredible experience. The things he's done in business is, phenomenal. So for us as a company to have him now, kind of at the helm and driving things forwards is really, really exciting. Already you can see rapid movement in terms of, like eyeing up buying shows, growing shows. I think the next few years are going to be really rapid for Raccoon. So it's a great time to be there. And, our staff is going up every week. I'm seeing new faces. I can't keep up with people joining the company and, what the plans are. But it's where you kind of want to be in a company. Yeah. It's evolving and it's changing. And you can see already the impact that Doug has had, without doubt, on the business. So it's exciting. Super exciting. It's going to be fun to follow. So as we start winding down, maybe tell our viewers and listeners where they can learn more about the Boston Run Show. I understand you may have a coupon code or discount code for them to take advantage of if they can make it. For anybody that wants to come along to the show, we'd love to have you come. You can invite your community. So share this code with whoever you would like to. If you go onto the website, it's thebostonrunshow.com, and the code is 2 months, and that's the number 2 months, and that will get you free tickets. 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. Stop reminding me. Yeah. But yeah, so please come remind along. The dates again, sorry. It's the 27th to the 28th of January at the Heinz in Boston. Okay. So everybody's welcome. It's for everyone. Awesome. So everybody who's in the New England area, make sure you stop through Boston for what I'm sure will be a really fun event. Craig Hanratty, event director of the Boston Run Show. Thank you so much for coming and spending some time with us. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.